Hey guys, what's up? Megan Lynn here. Holla holla. How are you guys doing? The holidays have kicked. Damn, I'm looking like real blonde right now. Sorry, I just got my hair done and it's supposed to be like this reverse ombre. Well, it's gonna be an ombre, but right now it's just blonde. So I'm blonde again. Whatever. Anyway, off topic. So I thought like story times that people did were just like for specific people and I didn't want to rip off of them, but it looks like everybody freaking does story times. So what I wanted to do for story time today was this time one of my friends tried to trick me. And I can say like people who, when they find out like you're intuitive, they want freaking Jesus magic show. So they'll take you places or try to trick you. There's just like a lot of skeptics out there, or try to test your abilities. So this is a time one of my friends, let's just call him Mike. Mike tried to trick me and he took me to one of his properties. So I'm in property management. I have a lot of like knowledge when it comes to like running properties for companies and things like that. Mike's an investor. So Mike has like, he owns multiple properties and then he like rents them out, and that's how he makes his money, and then he buys new ones and flips them and stuff like that. So Mike's really good at that, but I have a really good eye for like simple things that you can do to like make something look really upgraded. I do have like the property management eye when it comes to actually like turning properties. So he calls me up and he's like, you know, Megan, I got this property. It's vacant now. The new leasers haven't moved in yet. And mind you, he has like shit all over the valley. So he was like, I want you to come take a look at it. And like in my head, I'm like thinking, okay, if Mike wants me to come look at it, like there's something seriously wrong with this place, right? He's like, no, it's like right by you, like it's right by where you live, like you're in Phoenix now, like you're by a lot of my properties. This one's right by you. I'll just come pick you up real quick. It won't take very long. So I was like, okay, whatever. So he picks me up. We go to this property. So I don't know if you guys watch like psychic detectives and stuff, and always like when they roll on a scene, they're very like stoic and like they roll up on the scene and then they're very much like taking in like, this is built on an Indian burial ground or like some weird shit. Like I didn't get any weird vibes when we like rolled up to this house. I didn't get any at all. So I'm thinking the first thing I'm looking at is the aesthetics of the place as we're walking up. And I'm like, if Mike wants me to look at this, there's something seriously wrong. He said like it had fully been turned already. So they had already done all the maintenance. He goes through a private contractor. So like none of the maintenance like people or contractors had like access to this house anymore because it had been like gotten prepared for the new lease here. So anyway, we pull up, he opens the door, he unlocks it, and we walk in. Now he's got like a little freaking smirk on his face and he's just staring at me. And so to me, I'm thinking like something is seriously wrong. So maybe it's like a huge obvious thing like I'm gonna miss, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be real diligent when I go through this property. So they had like this like really nice like foyer, and then like dining room, living room, and then like in the kitchen area, there's always like, usually your laundry is gonna be very close to the kitchen, close to the garage or something like that. That's how this house was. So I go straight like through the foyer, through the dining room. I go back to the kitchen and into the laundry room, and then my spidey senses go off. And I just whipped around and I walked back through there and I said, who lived at this house? And he goes, oh, well, like, you know, like, it was just like a renter. And I was like, how long were they here? I was like, I feel like the renter wasn't here very long. And he said, oh, they were here, about 9 months, and I'm like, okay. And I said, because there's something in here. And for me, like, I'm not like other like psychics. I don't usually call myself a psychic. I just read energy and spirits and things like that. But so I feel like whenever you watch those shows, like the people go into the house and they like stand against the wall and they like read the energy and they're in one place. Like mine is not like that. And I don't know if it's like my Anubian energy, my Anubis energy, but I'm like a locator. Like for me, I'm like, where is it at? Where is it? So like for me, it's like a dog, quite frankly. So I just beeline and I go through the hallway and I go, there's something back here. Like it's following me. It's conscious that we're here. Like, what is this? And then he's still got a smirk on his face and my cheeks are tingling. Like I have this like pressure in my shoulders. Like I can tell that this thing is conscious that we're here. And then he goes, well, what do you think? And I was like, holy shit, this is why you brought me here, because you knew this place had a freaking being in it. And the whole time he like tricked me. I thought like we were coming to look to see like how the property was or like improvements we can do to the property. So he's like smirking. He's like, okay, what do you get? And I said, okay, Jesus magic show, let's play. So I said female. And he goes, yeah. So he knew what had happened at this property, which was hilarious because I had no idea. I was whatever. And I said female, and I was like, she's passed on. And I was like, she doesn't know she's passed on. She's been here a while. She's still here. And it's almost like a lot of times when people pass in very traumatic or like quick ways, like say they get, you know, in a car accident and they die instantaneously, a lot of them they didn't have the experience of the actual passing, so they don't actually know that they're passed on. So I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Others with Nicole Kidman. And okay, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen it, it's basically the whole movie she's being haunted and then realizes that she's the one who's dead. So that's kind of the vibe, and I told him this, that I got with this female energy. And I said, well, she's like standing, she knows we're here, but she thinks we're ghosts right now. And I said the person before that was here was hardly ever home, and that's the only reason. I said because if she was home, she would have saw her enough that activity would have picked up. There would have been a lot of activity in this because she legit, I can see furniture in this house. Like she is staying here. And he goes, yeah. And he ends up telling me what actually happened in that house. And the leaser that was there before was hardly ever home. And I already saw that. I just saw like coming and going. And I feel like the entity had saw her, but didn't see her enough that it spooked her too much for activity to pick up. So anyway, he ends up and he starts feeling it, and he's getting like freaked out now because he's feeling what I'm feeling. I'm a projector, so if you're within my aura as an intuitive, you'll start seeing things and feeling things that I feel. So and your abilities actually come out a lot more because I'm a transmuter. So he starts getting freaked out. He's like, dude, let's go. Like, I don't want to be in here anymore. He ends up showing me the actual like case study of, not case study, the actual, it's in reports in Phoenix and stuff like that. Like it was this big old thing, but, there was a woman that had passed in that house, and, the things that were done to her were really bad. I picked up on a lot of just, how she passed, things like that were very accurate with the, actual documentation he showed me. So we end up leaving. I'm like, look, I can cleanse this property for you. I said, the thing is, she doesn't even know she's dead yet. The fact that we came in, I said, I'm an intuitive. She picked up on me right away. She was following me around. Like, she knew something was there. And so I said, you know, I can clear that property for you if you want. Just let me know when to come back. He was fucking freaked out. He wanted to leave. So I'm like, okay. And I was like, this is what you get for playing with psychics. And so anyway, so we leave. Yada yada, whatever, wasn't thinking about it. I was home that night and decided I was going to go out to the store and just get something different to eat, because I have stuff to eat at home, but I just didn't feel like any of it. And so I decided that I'm going to go to the store. So I go to the store. It's pitch dark out. It's dark here, guys, around 5:30, I think, now in Phoenix. So, and there's just like, it gets really dark here. And like there's so much activity at night in Phoenix that it's almost a little bit scary. I don't go out after dark a ton. So anyway, I go to the store, and coincidentally, I end up going to a different store than I normally go to. Didn't really think about it, but I just kind of felt like going somewhere different. We have this like amazing Fry's Marketplace, but I don't like to go there all the time because I always see people I know. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cut through, you know, this neighborhood real quick, and I'm gonna go to a Bash's'. So I end up going and cutting through the same neighborhood we had been in earlier, me and Mike, with, you know, going and walking the house. I had to drive past the house. So I go and I'm driving, not really paying attention. And like, so the streets are like really dark. Some people have their Christmas lights on, whatever. I'm driving, and the whole thing that pulled my attention was that I see this house and it's completely lit up because the blinds are open and stuff. Every single light is on in this house. Every single light is on in this house. Wouldn't you freaking know it, that was the house that we were in earlier. So I was freaked out because I remember exactly what happened when we went through the house. I remember Mike turned on one bathroom light. That is all. I did not touch anything when I went in the house. Every single freaking light in this house is on. So I go and I text Mike and I was like, I said, have you been back to the house? Like, since we were there. And this all happened in the same day. And he goes, no, why? And I said, well, I was on my way to the market, had to drive by the house. I said, we were there today. I was like, every single light is on in this freaking house. And he's like, no way, like, send me like a picture or something. So I freaking videoed it. Every single freaking light was on in this house. And then the only ones that weren't on were the ones like connected to fans, because I don't know if you guys know about like spirits and energy and stuff like that, but like pull chains and stuff are like really hard for them to pull, like for them to like activate. They can do switches like really easy. And so Mike was like freaking out. I'm like, I said, you know, I pulled up, I checked the door, all the doors were locked. You know, we couldn't figure out, and then I could see the energy pacing in the living room. And I said, we fucking freaked this like spirit out. Like, it legit, I said, that's why it turned all the lights on. It's freaked out because it doesn't even know it's dead yet. So, anyway, I'll be going and I'll be cleansing that house for him. But like, that's what happens when you play with psychics, guys. Like, you see shit and it's like, everybody thinks it's so cool that you have abilities, but when they see this shit, they get so scared and so weirded out. And like, just so you guys know, like, amnesia is good. Like, not knowing things is good. But I can tell you the things like the previous resident, I picked up on a lot of the habits of the previous resident and a lot of like details of the actual like reports that happened to this person who passed in the house. I can say it was a very, very, well, it was a murder. It was very gruesome, very gruesome. And finding out the details after like reading it is really good, like confirmation. But it's just so funny because people think that they want to know all these things, and then when they actually do know them, I've had just so many people try to trick me into doing things or try to, you know, don't play with psychics, don't play with intuitives. Things you think you want to know, you don't really want to know. So, yeah, that's my little like story time on the haunted house and playing with psychics. You guys, there's a lot of stuff you think you want to know that you just don't want to know. So, but yeah, just so you know, I mostly work with clearing like dark energies. That's the priestess in me. I don't know what it is. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, likes, anything like that, we're almost to 500. Very, very cool. I'll be doing more story times because I have like, honestly, I have so many freaking stories. Especially I call them Jesus Magic Show stories where people try to trick me into, you know, into catching me, and they never can because, you know, if you guys are interested in spirits or energy impacts other energy, and the after effect stays there. So with spirits, there's either residual or there's conscious hauntings. That one is a conscious haunting. That one is active. It's not a residual. And like I said, she didn't even know she was passed yet. So I'll be clearing that out probably within the next week or so for him. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, like, comment, share, subscribe, anything like that, let me know what you want to hear about, because I don't know what to talk about. Like, I can talk about so much stuff, but I want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. So I hope you guys are enjoying the start to like the holiday season, and we'll talk soon. I love you guys. Bye.